What's going on, everybody? Good late afternoon or early evening for some of you by now. And we do have a little bit of Seattle Seahawks news from a couple hours ago. And it's not really good news, although it could have been a lot worse, right? In the grand scheme of things, this is a minor blip on the radar, but it's certainly bad news for one player in particular. I'm talking about Artie Burns. Artie Burns made his Seahawk debut, or 2024 Seahawks debut on Thursday against the 49ers. Didn't play that much, got hurt, left the game, and now we know that the injury is pretty serious because he is going on injured reserve. Now, players are eligible to return from injured reserve later in the season, but he's going to be missing at least 4 games. And that includes a bye week as well. So, really, it's going to be a minimum of a 5-week injury for Artie Burns. Now, the good news baked into this, I guess, would be that while Artie Burns went on injured reserve, Tre Brown did not, which means that Tre Brown is likely on track to be able to return sooner rather than later. And if the Seahawks have Witherspoon, Woolen, and Brown, there's really not much of a need for Artie Burns to ever actually play because those are your big three at corner. I know Tre Brown's kind of in people's doghouse right now because he's not playing particularly well, but he's still going to be the guy that gets a majority of the third cornerback snaps. You don't really need Artie Burns at that point. So before long, we should at least have our main guys. I mean, in games this year where Woolen, Witherspoon, and Brown have been healthy, the other cornerbacks don't really play at all. So as long as we can maintain that, Artie Burns is not really going to be missed. Once one or more of those players starts to miss time, though, it really starts to matter because then you're turning to Nehemiah Pritchett, and he's just not ready. Like, I really like Pritchett. I really like his skill set. There's some things with him that I think are very good, but he's not ready yet. So that's when Artie Burns becomes somebody that you want to have around. So, hey, we're going to need our guys to stay healthy, which gives us something in common with every other team in the league, but it does suck for Artie Burns, regardless. It's bad news for him. I feel for him, right? Because he really hadn't gotten a chance to play all year. Finally gets on the active roster, finally gets a chance to play, plays pretty decently, but very quickly just re-aggravates the injury that he had in preseason, the toe injury. So I feel for him, but in the grand scheme of things, we could have gotten much worse news today. We could have gotten this kind of an update on somebody like a Woolen, and I would even say a Tre Brown. That would still be worse, regardless of how poorly Brown has played the last couple games. It would still be worse news to lose him. We could have gotten bad news on Murphy, which some people were kind of holding their breath on because of the RRH trade, maybe signaling something negative about his recovery. But it looks like actually Murphy's in pretty good shape going into this Atlanta game. But we'll know a lot more about injury stuff tomorrow, but I wanted to pass along the one bit of news that we did get. So please like this video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Become a channel member for $2 a month. Those are the best ways to help support. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Twitch later tonight in all likelihood. I should be there for a long time tonight. We got a lot of catching up to do in Metaphor. But more videos likely coming down the pipe tomorrow. See you guys then. Go Hawks.